Today we're going to be talking about something very important. We're going to be talking about what's happening over in Turkey today. It's very important. And you might say to yourself, well, what does Turkey have to do with my life here in America? It means nothing. And I would disagree with you. Because what's happening in Turkey will set some things in motion, will set the dominoes into play that will affect your life here in America. I can assure you of that. You see, the CIA and the Mossad, they made a big mistake when they tried to do that coup over in Turkey. Their mistake was they didn't get Erdogan. See, Erdogan escaped. The CIA, the Mossad, they had him right in their sights. I mean, they had him surrounded at the compound. He was on vacation. Oh, a lot of Erdogan's bodyguards were killed, but they made a huge mistake. Erdogan survived. He escaped. And what he went on to do, well, the dominoes are in motion, and I tell you, will affect your life here in America. So let's talk about it. Basically, what we're talking about here is history in the making. We're talking about a Russia, China, Iran, Turkey alliance that would change the balance of power from this day forward, courtesy of your central leaders you voted for and the central planners that you did not vote for. It amazes me, to this day, it amazes me how Putin has just sat back and played this international game of chess so beautiful. I mean, I am awe-stricken. Literally, I am amazed at how he played Obama and Hillary for fools. Not only Obama and Hillary, it all started back when Bush started throwing trillions of dollars down that black hole. And we kept on throwing those billions and billions of dollars down a black hole. And Hillary and Obama never changed anything. They actually doubled down. Obama doubled down on spending trillions into a black hole. And all the while, Putin sat back patiently. It was a chess master that I am in awe of, I swear to God. If only America had a leader half as brilliant as Putin, we wouldn't be in this shithole dilemma that we face today. But let's go on to some of the facts. Okay, here's the facts. Erdogan, who not long ago was having problems with Russia, he has completely flipped around. And we can thank your so-called leaders, your CIA and your Mossad for that. But what has Erdogan done? First of all, Erdogan has apologized. He has apologized to Putin and Russia for shooting down the Russian military aircraft last year. But Russia already knew that Erdogan had nothing to do with that. Russia already knew that the decision to shoot down the Russian jet was made by the CIA Mossad, influencing the rogue military generals. See, shooting down the Russian jet was all a plan by the Western powers to make Russia mad at Turkey. And if Russia was mad at Turkey, then there was no chance of Russia and Turkey forming an alliance. And wow, do you see where this is going? Because what we're talking about, I tell you, is history in motion. This could be the downfall of NATO. This could be the downfall of Western powers as we know it. And I'm going to get to that. But first, first things first. Erdogan apologizes to Putin for shooting down the jet, even though that wasn't Erdogan's plan. That was actually a plan to actually get Erdogan out of office. You see, that's what happened. The CIA backstabbed Erdogan. Erdogan has figured it out. So what does he do? What does Erdogan do after apologizing to Putin for shooting down a jet? The next thing he goes into talks with Russia. The talks begin immediately. And what are these talks about? These talks are about Russia, you're going to have to protect me. These CIA, Mossad, Western people, they came after me and they came after me hard. It's a miracle I'm still here talking to you. And Putin's just smiling the whole time. Sure, Turkey, come into the open arms of the bear. We will form the Russian, China, Iran, Turkey alliance that will change the balance of power from this day forward. Hail, Napoleon of Russia. I tell you, this is very, very important to your life here in America. Because what happens when Turkey turns its back on NATO? When Turkey turns its back on the European powers and the U.S. powers? Well, this sets the dominoes in motion. I tell you, this is serious. When you think about how important Turkey is, and if Turkey turns their back on NATO, do you know that there are so many other countries out there who would love to turn their back on NATO? A lot of these countries involved with NATO are only there because they're scared of the U.S. They're scared of NATO and European powers. So if you could get one power, one strong country like Turkey, if you could get that country like Turkey to effectively and successfully turn their back on NATO, just say to hell with you Europe, to hell with you NATO, and to hell with you US, and then they go into the open arms of the bear, the Russian bear, and they form this Russian, China, Iran, Turkey alliance, I tell you the balance of power is changing. And Europe will need energy. Europe needs natural gas. Europe will have to. If this ends up going through, Europe will have to turn their back on America, and Europe will then have to go into the open arms of this new Russian-China alliance. So it is so important what's happening over there. This mistake that was made last month with the coup, and believe you me, they made a huge mistake over there. They made many mistakes. And Erdogan found out how evil these people he was dealing with were. They were evil. And I guess it should not surprise any of us that when you're talking about evil, Hillary Clinton will not be too far from the equation. Yes, it turns out that Gulen, you know who Gulen is, he's Erdogan's enemy who is living here in America, and Gulen has billions, a billion-dollar empire of Muslim schools all through America, and it shouldn't surprise any of us that Hillary is involved with this. Gulen is a Hillary supporter. Jesus, I tell you, when the more you dig into these evil people, the more you find out how evil they are, and Erdogan finally figured it out. See, in the beginning, he was happy to deal with these people, Hillary, the Mossad, the CIA, and boy, did it turn quickly. Wow, did it turn quickly. Erdogan is lucky to be alive. Lucky to be alive. He's a complete idiot. To even go into bed with these people, to go into bed with the CIA and to go into bed with Hillary, you're a filthy pig just to go into bed with them. But he must be a lucky filthy pig because he escaped the clutches of Hillary and her evil clan. So, let's get to the unintended consequences of these central planners, these evil central leaders that we have in control of America. There are unintended consequences. So when they tried to pull that coup last month in Turkey, when they tried to put down Erdogan, but they failed miserably, now we have set the dominoes into motion. And this is going to have lasting effects, I tell you, on Americans. This sets in motion, literally, the fall of the Western Empire. Because if Erdogan can pull this off, if Erdogan can successfully leave NATO and go into the open arms of Putin, if he can pull this off, well, do you have any idea what the CIA has in store for him? I know this is going to get serious because the CIA will not let Erdogan leave NATO. They cannot. They will do anything and everything to stop Erdogan to go into the protective arms of Russia. And we don't know how Gulen's going to play into this. He's just an old man with a billion-dollar empire of Muslim schools, and he's trying to support Hillary. But anybody who supports Hillary, they're going to fall, and they're going to fall hard too. Anybody around Hillary is going to fall. Hillary's going down hard. So let's hope that probably Gulen goes down hard with Hillary. But don't forget how serious the CIA is taking this. The CIA is taking it so seriously that they're having talks with Obama on it daily. And you can imagine what the CIA wants to do. They want Erdogan eliminated. But here we have Obama. Obama is in his last months of his dictatorship. And This is where it gets confusing, because I don't believe that Obama is going to want to okay the assassination of Erdogan at this point in the game, because it gets really, really messy with Russia. So what does Obama do? He sends over Biden. So that's the main story, I guess, today we're talking about, that Obama, the Western powers, they take this so seriously that even months before Biden is going into civilian life, here he has to take a trip to Turkey, and he has to get on his hands and knees, and he has to beg Turkey and apologize. And he also has to make up excuses to why he's not going to give up Gulen. Yeah, Obama is not going to hand over Gulen to Erdogan, and this is making Erdogan extremely angry. So what's the play here? Here's the play. Erdogan is just going to sit back patiently in the protection of Russia. He's going to want to extort America for billions and billions of dollars. Who knows? He might go for $1 trillion here. This is what it comes down to. Erdogan, before he officially goes into Russian arms, before he officially leaves NATO, he's going to extort Obama for probably close to $1 trillion. Obama will give Erdogan as much money as he wants, so that will stall the CIA. See, this is what it comes down to. Obama is just going to try to stall the CIA until he gets out of office. Obama doesn't really want to have anything to do with this. That's why Obama sent Biden. And if you want to know how Turkey feels about Biden and the U.S. and the Yankees, well, you can imagine. And then there's a second part of why Biden had to go to Turkey, because guess what happened to all the military leaders who were NATO buddies? All the military leaders in Turkey who were friends of NATO, who were friends of Obama, friends of the United States CIA and the Mossad, well, they're not very happy right now. You're looking at the pictures of the lucky ones. They're the ones who are still alive. I can tell you that all the military leaders who were in bed with NATO, who were involved with the CIA and the Mossad, half of them are missing. Yes, this is serious business. And you may feel sorry for Turkey. I do feel sorry for Turkey. This is a nightmare unfolding. But the good thing is, it looks like Erdogan figured out that he was nothing but a puppet, that he was being controlled by some very evil people. And when those evil people made their decision to take out Erdogan, well, Erdogan got extremely lucky. And then Erdogan set in motion some things that I think are going to change your life in America. I hope to get to that very soon. But let's not forget how it's going to happen. Let's take it step by step. As soon as Erdogan escaped the assassination attempt, like I said, then he started to take down all the NATO leaders in Turkey. You see, the Turkey military were full of people who their alliance was to NATO, their alliance was to the CIA and the Mossad and so forth. And so, though, like I say, those people are in bad shape, and they're gone. The second thing that Erdogan did after eliminating the NATO leaders in his military was then he went to Putin and he apologized for shooting down their jet. And then he immediately went into talks with Russia, saying, hey, I'm tired of the NATO, protect me. And Russia, like I said, Putin just sat back smiling and said, yes, this is a very, very good plan. Yes, the Russian, China, Iran, Turkey alliance, we will change the balance of power from this day forward. So, are you starting to see how this could affect your life here in America in the future? Think about it. Our sanctions, that's what the United States government does all the time. They put sanctions on people like Russia and Iran. And if our sanctions are not working, if Turkey is going to go into an alliance with Russia and China and Iran, and they form this alliance, that means that our sanctions will be nothing. Our sanctions will be a joke. And then what it really turns out is that the world including Turkey, Russia, China, they are starting to make their move against America because the timing is right. Never forget the chess master Putin, sitting back patiently, waiting for the right time. I tell you, the timing is now perfect because after years and years of non-stop war, and 4 trillion, or who knows, it might be $6 trillion thrown down that black hole, they waited to the right time, and now they think it's the right time to form this alliance. And they have also proven to the world, what's more importantly here, Russia and Iran has proven to the world that your sanctions mean nothing to us. Look at us. We're surviving. Not only are we surviving, we have countries like Turkey who want to leave NATO and come to us. Yes, the balance of power is turning. And remember, this is the reason why Americans have it so good. You think you go to Walmart and the stores are full in Walmart. And I see all these people, they have no jobs, but there are no riots in the streets. And this is what really confuses me. Here we are in America, 100 million people out of the workforce, 50 million people on food stamps, but everything seems to be quiet and hunky-dory. And I tell you, it's because of the Federal Reserve Note, that the world still has respect for the Federal Reserve Note. The reason why these people who have no job, but they have public housing, they have SNAP card programs. I'm telling you, the reason why everything seems so relatively calm right now in America is because of the Federal Reserve Note, and the world still respects it. But this is the most important thing I want to stress here, is if the world turns their back on us, and that's what we are talking here, the risk that we have of Turkey turning its back on NATO, and then after Turkey successfully leaves NATO and goes into the Russia-China alliance, there'll be other countries that follow. The dominoes will be set in motion, and if those other countries leave leave NATO, more countries will leave NATO, more countries will leave the United Nations. They will also have their own currency. If you go into the Russia-China alliance, you will then be dealing with their currency system. Russia and China is now forming their own currency system. Our sanctions are so strong and brutal sanctions that we put on countries like Cuba and Russia and Turkey and Iran. They'll mean nothing. The Federal Reserve Note will literally drop. And normally, remember, when these collapses happen, they happen pretty quickly. See, we've just been waiting. Everybody has been waiting and waiting for the Federal Reserve Note to collapse for 100 years. But here it is. It's just been going on and on and on. And I say when it does happen, it'll probably happen quickly. And I say that this is very, very important. If Turkey is successful in leaving NATO, this will embarrass the CIA to no end. The CIA will do anything to stop it. And that's why Obama has sent Biden to Turkey to try to smooth things over until he can get out of office. Don't think that Obama will not give Turkey $1 trillion. Just to smooth things over until he gets out of office. That's probably what Biden's there for. Biden is there to say, okay, we're sorry what we did. We're sorry. Take it easy on our NATO generals. Take it easy on some of our NATO generals. Send them to America if you can. We'll give you $1 trillion. Just don't do anything until Obama leaves office, please. Erdogan will just sit back laughing. Okay, I'll take your $1 trillion. And then when Obama is out of office, he'll go into the arms of the Russian bears. And then you will see the dominoes tumble. And I tell you, the effects at home will be that the Federal Reserve Note won't look so good. And if the Federal Reserve Note doesn't look so good, that means the SNAP card people won't be able to buy as much food. And if the SNAP card people, the 50 million SNAP card people, if they can't buy enough food, well, they'll get angry and violence will start popping up in the inner cities. It already has to some extent, but when it really starts to happen, trust me, it will get scary. So there'll be martial law. Of course, when the violence starts to hit the inner cities, of course, our so-called leaders will want to enact martial law. Who knows, they might even start instructing the inner cities to start going to Gulen's Muslim schools. Who knows? We really don't know exactly how these central planners and these central leaders are going to react when the violence starts to hit the inner cities. My best guess is you should be far away from the big cities. When this all starts to go down, it would be nice if you were out in the country somewhere, because these people in charge, if Hillary, Lord help us, if Hillary's there, it'll almost be like when she was talking about Libya. You see, Hillary hates Americans, but she'll probably treat Americans like she treated the people over in Libya. What did she say about the people in Libya? She said, "Oh, I came, I saw, he died." I mean, this woman is evil. And let's just hope that Hillary Clinton is thrown under the bus. And I would much rather see Donald Trump in there, a man who is not a career politician. See, Donald Trump has no history of killing people. I mean, that alone gives me more faith in Donald Trump than like Hillary Clinton or Obama, who, I mean, look at the drone program. I mean, if you look at the track record of Hillary and Obama, it should scare you half to death. When they talk about Libya, we came, we saw, he died. I mean, these people are evil. I would much rather have Donald Trump in there. When the world starts to lose faith, when the world starts to lose faith in the Federal Reserve note, we're going to go through pain. There's no escaping that. Let me leave you with this. There's no way around it. We have 100 years of abusing the dollar. The dollar died back in the 1960s. When they killed John F. Kennedy, that's officially when the dollar died. And from the 1960s on, the dollar, there's been no silver dollars anywhere. The American has stopped making silver dollars from the 1960s. Now we've just been abusing. We've been abusing the Federal Reserve note for 100 years, and now we have to go through the pain. The only reason why we have not seen the pain yet is the world is still under the illusion that America is this great place where her money is backed by gold. And when the world starts to lose faith in America, then we are going to have to pay the price at home. We're going to have to go through the pain. I know that's scary. Nobody likes to go through pain, but we have to go through the pain. And all I can tell you, if you want to get through this pain the best you can, try to get out there in the country, find an area where you can have a garden, accumulate some hard assets like silver and gold, but don't tell anybody about it. And when the people come, there will be people come. The government will send their troops in, and they'll come from door to door, and they'll be asking you for your silver and your gold. You're just going to have to get by that situation. You're going to have to hope they don't find it. And if they don't find your silver and gold, well, then you'll be better off. And of course, you're going to have a big garden. And of course, they'll probably take half of your food. But it'll be some pain. America, we have to go through this pain. Russia went through the pain when they collapsed. When their system collapsed, they went through the pain. There were Russians who had little gardens in their front window. They had to try to grow their tomatoes. Whatever they could grow in their windows, they grew, because they did, there was no food to speak of. I mean, there's pain to go through when your central leaders and your central planners throw you under a bus and they destroy your money. 100 years of destroying the Federal Reserve note. Now we have to pay. Americans will suffer. Who knows? This pain may go on to your children and your great-grandchildren and your great-great-grandchildren. I hope the pain doesn't go that far, but we're going to have to get through it. We're going to get through it. I can just tell you that silver and gold will help you get through it if you can hide it well enough. Of course, you're going to need a weapon. But more importantly than silver and gold and weapons and food, you're going to have family and friends. Move as close as you can to people you can trust. If you really want to survive the situation that's coming, move near people you can trust, people who have your back. If you can be in a neighborhood where people have your back, well, you'll be a lot better off than Erdogan, because Erdogan trusted some evil people who did not have his back. So just in case there's anybody in the inner cities who's listening to me, do yourself a favor. Don't trust Obama. Don't trust Hillary, because you're going to end up just like Erdogan ended up. And Erdogan almost didn't make it. So I just hope that if you're in the inner cities and you are stuck there, I hope you have the luck that Erdogan has had, because you're going to need it.